so later. Wonderful. As we're letting more and more people on. Wonderful. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Gonna hit that live button. And I will, maybe I'll just leave it so it's not muted so we can have everybody unmute as they go. So it would be nice if people muted, and I'll just get started. Super. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to our Saturday call today. You know, I think everyone who signs up in Zinzino, they have goals, they have dreams, they have things that they want to accomplish. And sometimes you have your ups and your downs, and sometimes it's a story that could be what is going to motivate you to continue moving forward. Sometimes you need to hear the dream, struggle, victory story. Well, we're going to start here today and hear some of the stories of people that have been achieving the ranks that are diamond, director, crown, and hopefully by the end of this, you're going to have somebody that maybe you connected with, somebody that inspired you. So I'm going to start by grabbing Jackie and Gary. They hit the level of diamond. So Jackie and Gary, could you tell a little bit about you guys?
Well, hello, everybody. Hi, Carla. Thank you. We just feel very blessed and honored to be here and where we're at right now. We live in Bayfield, Wisconsin, and I'm a retired nurse. Gary was a retired healthcare professional too. And when we met Zinzino by a very beautiful couple, and we knew that we were always health-minded, and we knew that we wanted to try the product. But at the time, I had absolutely no interest in coming on board as a partner. And well, one thing led to another, and by several different happenings, and here we are today, and very, very grateful to be here.
And yeah, because you were a nurse, so you knew about health and the different things in health. So did this all make sense to you? Had you heard about Omega Balances before?
You know, that's right. I was a nurse for 40 years. And I heard of omegas, but I never really heard of omegas, you know. And when I started doing research, when we took our product home, started doing research, I just could not believe the health benefits. And that was one of the drivers that got us to say, yes, we need to share this information. We need to get this out to people because we know it will help them.
So can we just ask, because some people, you know, you see people of all different ages, can we ask how old you guys are? Or is it allowed to do that?
Sure. Well, I'm a bright and spry 78-year-old male.
And I'm 67.
So, you know, some people are going to say, okay, you guys were retired. So getting into a business and doing Zinzino as a business, are they going to approach people that are, you know, getting up in age and building this? What would you say to that?
You know, we have found that you approach everybody and anybody. It doesn't make any difference the age. It doesn't make any difference what kind of health they may have. It is just something that we try and share with everybody.
And I know that not only did you guys hit the diamond title, but you guys have been out there sharing too. And you guys have over 200 customer points and are going on the director trip too. So congratulations for that. How does that make you feel?
Oh my goodness, we just feel, you know, it is such a team effort and we have to thank everybody, you, Carla, everybody that has been involved in helping us get to where we're at. It's a team effort, and we just feel really honored and really blessed to be able to be a part of Zinzino. And Oh, and
I love that. Gary, now I think one of the things that I think was really powerful in your guys' story is actually your product story. Would you mind just telling a little bit of that story? Because that's just always so powerful.
Sure, you bet. Well, I always thought I was pretty healthy, and but yet I was on two blood pressure medications. I had excessive brain fog. My hands were so stiff and sore that I couldn't do this. We couldn't even hold hands comfortably anymore. My gut health has improved, or was not where I needed it to be. And my energy levels weren't where they were. So once I got on Zinzino, then things changed. I'm no longer on any blood pressure medications. My energy levels have skyrocketed. My gut health has improved immensely, and my hands, I can actually use them now like I could 10, 15, 20 years ago. So Zinzino has just been a blessing for me. And you know what? It's going to be a lifelong journey for us. And you know what? We can do this now again. Thank you, Carla.
Oh, it's such a heartwarming story for everyone to hear. Well, thank you guys for coming on. From the one end of the spectrum, I think it's kind of fun to have on some young people too. So one of the partners on here, we're going to ask Bjarke to unmute himself and just to hear a little bit of his story. Bjarke, would you mind unmuting and telling a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course, I can try to do that in English. This is not my regular language. I speak Danish, so I will get tested now. It's perfect.
No,
Yeah.
that's okay. We're gonna get through it. I'll help you, Bjarke. Okay,
Oh, that's
tell
okay.
a little bit about you.
Yeah, my name is Bjarke, and I'm from Denmark. I live in Varde. I used to work with ex-addicts, young people. I love working with people and helping them. But I worked both day and night shift, and one day I just didn't want to go to work. And I thought, I have one woman in my network presented this to me, and maybe this was it. I was going to do this. So I called her and said, it's time. And then I met Zinzino, and I've never regretted since. And
so hang on, because you were working in the treatment center with addicts, and I know that is a tough job. And to do that, I mean, people who do that don't do that for the money.
No.
Who do that are doing it because they have a big heart. And actually, one of the things I think I thought about when I met you is you actually did a lot of working out. You got to kind of get around you to hug all those muscles. So you actually were health minded and actually kind of getting a little bit tired at that. And maybe this would be a way to earn some extra income. When was that?
It was when I have two kids. I have one at 4 and one at 6 now. And when we got our second kid, I wanted to be home more with my kids, and I couldn't do that by doing the night shift, and I want to be there for my family. So this was an opportunity for me, and I could see other people in the business could quit their job or go part-time or something like that, and that I could see myself do.
I love that. So young father saying, okay, this is something I can do, even with two small children at the house. Okay, so Bjarke, you've been building the business for some years, and some people will say, okay, if you've been building this for years, did you ever feel like giving up?
Yes. Not in the business, but the belief in myself and the other people's belief in me on what I was doing in Zinzino was lacking a lot. So what kept me going was I was attending to all the events I could to get it in my heart, and I have Zinzino in my heart forever. And that's why I'm here.
But getting all to these events, a lot of times, because the events, over in Stockholm or Oslo, they cost money. And being a young family with small children, you invested. It wasn't easy, but you invested and you went to the different events and you did everything you could to get there.
Yeah, everything. I would prioritize the Zinzino events much more than going out at weekends and do stuff like that. And I would save my money to go to events. Yes, 100%.
Okay, and you kept growing and doing things there. I love that. Now, when you got to how did it end up to you becoming Diamond? I know we set some goals here before
Yeah.
our 90-day run time, but could you tell a little bit about what do you think really did it for you?
And what did it for me? I didn't quit. That's what did it for me. I just kept going, and when I met some people, I'll just ask and present this business for them.
And then
And
something happened because
yeah,
there's a guy who you haven't met in person yet,
no,
yet you've been working with him for a long time, and at some point you came across talking about Zinzino, and he decided to sign up.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that is Jesper. Yes,
That is Jesper. Okay, so tell a little
yes.
bit about what happened with Jesper.
Jesper went crazy. Short saying, he joined the 30th of September, and he is Diamond today. So yeah, this year. So
Yeah,
that's
because
crazy.
he got started. He had the month of October, and
Yeah.
it's not that he was running in October. I think that's kind of a fun story. He didn't run throughout the month of October. Actually, he hit fast silver on his last day of
Yeah.
the 30th day. But then what? There was the November campaign that
Then
was,
he said to himself that, okay, this could be possible, and he said to himself, okay, I will just give it all I have, and he did. He did.
and
So
he
he
went
yeah,
so from silver to diamond in 1 month.
yes,
Yeah. And that made a huge difference. But again, it's because of your determination and your
yes,
sticking with it and
yeah,
following up with people, because you had been talking to him for a while about this.
yeah, for half a year, maybe once every second week or something like that. We have spoken about Zinzino, and he said no, 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 no. And then I said something like he could pass this business on to his children when he not is here anymore, and he could see that it was a good opportunity.
I love it. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations, Bjarke. That is just such a powerful story. I mean, incredible. Thanks so much. And we kind of wish we had Jesper here. We might have to have him another time, but he's off doing stuff, so he doesn't have time. It was super inspiring, Bjarke. Okay,
thank you.
let's bring on actually your sponsor, because one of the things she has said is how proud she is also of the development of you. And that was part of her hitting her next title too. So let's bring on here Lena. Hi, Lena.
Hello, Carla. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Can you tell a little bit about yourself?
Oh, of course I can. So my name is Lena. I live in Denmark, actually in the same city as Bjarke. I'm a veterinarian nurse, and I love it. I actually love, I love the most is the nutrition part. So I love to help cats and dogs getting the right nutrition. And I've been loving that so much, so that I have been working at the education for veterinarian nurses in Denmark. So I've been doing the teaching in nutrition for every veterinarian nurse in Denmark. They have been in my hands. So they do the nutrition part of their job so well. Then I met Zinzino like 10 years ago, mostly because I was looking for something else or another job. I'm a single mom with 2 girls, and all they want to do is to have a horse. And you know how expensive that is to have a horse, and being a single mom and one income, that's not possible. So I was looking, and then I met Zinzino, and I was just blown away of the blood test. So now I could get a second job doing something that I absolutely love, doing the nutrition part and helping now people, not animals, but people get better. So here I am now, 10 years ahead.
Let's talk about that, because a lot of people might think, well, 10 years
Yeah.
to get to where you are. But what would you say about the process and the journey?
Mm-hmm. I mostly did the business like a hobby business, because I needed the money for the horse. and we have had the horse for 7 years. So that was my main priority, to have that sidekick so I could pay for the horse for my 2 children. So I've been doing a lot of Zinzino work for 10 years. I've been practicing my skills, so I know every detail of every product and the compensation plan. You just ask me and I know the answer. So it's been 10 years of developing myself, my skills, and also, like Bjarke said, the belief in me. I had to work on that as well. And then I put some of it in Bjarke because I knew that he would be good someday, and now he is. Yeah.
I love that. Love it. Love it. Okay, so we need to bring on one more person here who also.
Oh, yes, we do. We do so much, so much. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So, and we do this alongside each other, and we will never let go of each other, because this is a journey for both of us, like to the top.
To the top is absolutely right. Okay, so, and it was because it is your sister, and you each have your own positions, and at the same month, and you said it months ago, you guys are going to hit director in the same month, and you did it.
We did it.
So let's bring you on here too. Jewel, would you unmute and tell us a little bit about you? I know you're driving, so if your car is moving, you keep that eye on the road, but tell us a little bit about you, Jewel.
Can you hear me?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm a physiotherapist. When I met Zinzino, it was my sister. It was Lena who presented it to me. I was working with heart patients mainly, and I thought I knew everything I needed to know. So I was very skeptical. But I had issues in my own health. I had chronic pain in my lower back, in my hip, from very difficult pregnancies. And Lena convinced me to start on the balance oil. I did, and it only took 4 months for my body to get rid of those chronic pains, inflammations in my body, and that was just a whoa experience for me. So she of course tried to get me in the business. I wasn't ready, but when my pain disappeared, I was ready, and I called her and said, "Okay, let's do this." And we don't come from a family with much, so we have together high hopes of doing. I'm getting a little bit emotional, but we just want to move ourselves to another place, and we're doing it. Sorry, it's just overwhelming, the journey we've been on.
Well, wonderful. Now you got us all in tears. Okay. Now, if we're really going to say, you guys have been working and doing things and have your own positions, and just to see how the development has been, because over COVID, it's not that we really were working a lot over in Denmark and doing a whole bunch, but afterwards and making that decision, and actually it was a whole team of things that were happening. So maybe we want to talk about how when a whole team starts to move.
Yeah, we did an internal campaign to get our activities up, so it wasn't really focused on achieving titles, but more on getting meetings in the team. And in March, in the month of March, we did a campaign to do 500 meetings in the team, and we would go together and see the Vitas laboratory and the Found factory as a reward. And we did that, and that got us into activity. And then we shifted into a 90-day run, August, September, and October. And of course, that did a lot of great things for the team. We had around 30 new partners coming in and a few hundred customers. And then we thought we were going to take a break. But then the November campaign came and we were like, okay, this is just the last squeeze of the lemon. We just need to get in there. And it was everybody on that train were helping out. So it was really just quite astonishing what we did. And we had, well, it was just a downline, upline, how do you say, effort. I mean, you, Carla, and Jimmy as well, you're helping with all the meetings and just the hours that you put in. It's just no meeting is ever not worth doing, you know, because all those meetings for all those years have built up to this moment. So it's just, yeah, maybe you should say something, Lena, because, yeah, I'm driving.
You're driving. Well, yeah, we have this incredible team doing a lot of stuff in the team together. We have been doing that for a year where we had some plannings. And so every week we have different opportunities for every partner to come join so that we can build the business together. And just doing that for a whole year is what have brought us to where we are now, because it's been consistent every week doing the team stuff together.
You know, I think too, there's something I remember at the beginning in the spring when we had the one campaign and we had a 3-month period where people could qualify and if they had done 20 meetings. And I know you guys have said that was like a stretch for people for a while, because we had a lot of people who were doing this, you know, more as a hobby, and it switched. People started seeing the big picture. They started to see what you could get out of this. And I mean, now they were having, you know, 10, 20 meetings every week, and it made a difference. Right, Lena?
Oh, absolutely. Because the 20 meetings from the March campaign, I actually thought myself, oh, wow, am I gonna do it? Can I do it? But I wanted to go to the trip with my team. So of course I did it, and I did over. So now with the 90 days run and actually a 4th month on top of that, now we're laughing about 20 meetings.
Okay, so let's talk. The last section here to talk to you guys about is about November, because we didn't hit all the goals we wanted to in August, September, and October, but November came around with this great campaign, and you guys started the month and said, this is the month. We will be director together this month. You said it from the start.
We said it at the last national campaign, event we had in August in Denmark, where my sister and I were MCs for the day. And so we said it on stage in front of the whole team of Denmark that we were going to hit director before the next event,
which was kickoff here in January.
Yeah, together.
We did it in October, so November had to be it.
November had to be it, and we were tired. I can just tell you that we were so tired from a 90-day run, but we did it. We put in the extra effort, and we ran like crazy for that.
And Jewel, I know it was super easy for you.
It's never been easy for me, and it wasn't this time around either. I started. The thing is, in order for Lena and I to hit director together, we would have to push her beyond 30,000 credits. So we had to do a lot of work in the one team for me to have enough. And in the other team, of course, I needed at least 8,000 credits. And I started off the month having 2 ultimate partner kits refunded from September, I think. So I was in minus, and it just really, it just was like a fist to the gut. I just, it was so hard to, to rise above that. I really felt that there was such a long way to go that it was impossible. So I think I cried for a whole day, maybe a day and a half. And
Let's
of course,
say a day and a
Paula,
half.
you, well, my sister, of course, but Carla, definitely you have picked me up before, and you did so again. You know exactly how to, you know, to 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 blow some fresh air and belief into my heart and my spirit to ignite me again.
But I think
And
it's
you
so
did.
important, Jewel, because so many people think, that we're gonna go. And it's those, and actually the month that you had set the goal and are working towards the goal, to know that you gave up a couple times, just a couple days.
Yeah.
A couple days,
Mm.
giving up. And I think
Mm.
people need to hear that,
Yeah.
you get double whammies when people, don't take their or return their kits, and you're starting in minus, and it's like, okay, but this was the month, and now what? And I think that's
Yeah.
an important thing. It's not easy,
Mm.
but
No.
you guys did it, and at the last day, at the last minute, we
Yeah.
had you both
Yeah.
home, and it was like celebration.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was the last minute, and it was the last minute that we took and helped Jesper with his diamond. So it was last minute for him as well. So it was just an amazing team effort. Like every credit counted.
You did.
Counted. Yeah.
I think we ended at for director, you need to have 24,000 credits. I think we had 24,003.
Well,
Okay.
well, yeah, it did actually tip over, Carla. Don't ask me how, but it ended on 24/5 profits. It was a little bit behind, so but we got it home. So
Yeah, and everybody made it, and the whole train was moving. Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you guys, and congratulations for both of you on director. I'm going to grab another director here from the US. Now, I think that was also that same effort where you could really see the entire team moving. It's like when you've got all these train pieces putting together and the whole train is moving. So let's bring on here Val. Val, hi, and would you tell a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Val Kohler, and I live in Minnesota, and we have snow today. But anyway, my journey with Zinzino started a few years back, about 8 years ago. But at that time, I was suffering with some very low chronic back issues like Jewel. I had seen so many different doctors and whatnot, and was disheartened by my treatments. And my son introduced me to this wonderful gal who explained to me about a balance test. And we were introduced to her at my dining room table. And boy, oh boy, at that time, I thought, is this real? I took a test. I took a test. I didn't have any idea what a test was, but I took this test, sent it off. Of course, you all know we get our results, and I was a sick girl. I was 48.8 to 1, but I started on that balance oil because back then we only had the balance oil product. I started on that balance oil that same evening, and my goodness, within 8 days, my health journey basically turned around. I went from that excruciating pain, you probably understand what all that is about. I went from that excruciating fiery back pain down to just a dull ache. And my goodness, that turned my world around as far as wanting to know more about this company. What did this company have that nobody else could help me with? And probably help a lot of others. What was this? It was a simple balance oil. fish oil with polyphenol. Wow. I wanted to know more about the company and I wanted to get in on this business, Carla. This was something I needed to share.
Okay, well, because with your fantastic results, again,
Yes.
it just gives you that passion. Now, this was some years ago and you were building up and actually had hit diamond. What year was it that you hit diamond the first time?
I believe it was July of 2019.
And then
That, yes.
COVID hits, yeah.
Oh, and
And
then it just went
yeah.
downhill for me. It was at a standstill.
And I know that you felt that you had to kind of just get restarted completely. Customers,
Oh, yeah,
and just get restarted. Now, I know
absolutely.
it's also a whole team of people like Gary and Jackie are also in Jeff and Donna's team, and you also in Jeff and Donna's team. And I know that they're so good of having the whole team work together. And in your case,
Right.
just getting back up, it took some time to get back up to
It
that.
did.
But when
It,
it hit,
yeah.
and when
Oh my
it,
gosh, when it hit. And when you know you've got a team that you're backing and they're backing you and your upline is there to help, that, it's not all about the work that you do. Yes, that's a big part of it, but it's also your downline and having that camaraderie that you have with your downline and helping them, that just boosts everybody's ego. It puts a fire under the heel. And it really, really helps you to get out there and spread the word because you know what, Carla, we have something so special. Why not share it with everybody? And that includes your team members' potentials also.
Mhm, mhm. So I think when you hit your director title, you were blasting through back up to all these titles with more people coming in. You had a platinum, a executive, another exec. I mean, you had a lot of titles.
Yes.
A
Oh,
lot of things
yes.
were happening at the same time.
It was fun. We ended up with three, I believe, two executives. There was the third executive hit platinum, and I think that kind of threw her off her rocker because she wasn't expecting that platinum title. She was satisfied with executive, but bammo, she hit platinum. And you know what? It was so fun. It was that momentum. It was like that train just kept going and going. We were chugging and chugging, and it was fun. It was really, really fun.
Oh, I just love that story too. Well, congratulations on your
Thank you.
executive. Okay, so I'm
Thank you.
gonna grab another couple here. Also here from Minnesota that hit diamond. Now, I don't think Pete is here, but we have Renee. Renee, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Well, I'm Renee Thorfinson from Minnesota, and I don't know how you can follow that Denmark story. That is absolutely amazing. I had tears. It's like, oh, don't call me next. That is so exciting to hear.
But you gotta, I mean, I
Um,
think your story is super powerful because Renee, you are somebody who is probably unique to even the US when people are healthy because you did things your entire life to be healthy. You guys, I mean, you were actually grounding your own flour or something like that. The things you did, Renee, to stay healthy.
we had been introduced to the health nutrition idea very young in our, years and years ago in our marriage. And, but our goal was to be healthy when we got old. And so we did all these things. We juiced carrots, and we did green smoothies. I ground my own flour. I soaked my grains. I soaked my beans and nuts and everything. To be healthy. We wanted to be proactive. Little did I know anything about omega-3s. And I came across personally autoimmune issues, and it left me in a hole. I mean, I had such great fatigue. I was so miserable. I had no energy. I had brain fog, and that was for about 2.5 years. And then we were introduced to Zinzino, and within days, I went from the couch to feeling better than I had in a long time. And since we started back in February, I have felt better every single day. I feel like I have a new lease on life. And that has just propelled us to share this with absolutely everybody we know, because I know there's people praying tonight, today, for help. And we have the answer. It's so foundational. I've been looking for it my whole life, and it came.
So I think it's that is a powerful story too. And to hear, like, you started in February of this year and you started telling everybody. Now, first of all, you guys are a big family. You have how many children?
We have 8 children, 19 grandchildren. So that was initially our big push, was to, and we've got all of our children, all of our grandchildren, our parents, brothers, everybody. You can't know us and not be on omega-3s, fish oil, balance oil. I'm not even going to say omega-3, balance oil.
Yes. And when you know how important it is, you want all your loved ones to for sure be taking this. Absolutely. Now, so at first, actually, you signed up as a customer to on the products, but you had such incredible results so quickly. And then you started hearing some things about how this business was from your good friend, Phil, who also has been a powerhouse here in Zinzino, but he introduced you guys and you got started. And this has been an ongoing thing since February. You guys have a T-Balance, which is your total customer and partner, over 1,200 people in your team now, just since February. That's so many people you guys are helping on these products. And I know
that's what it's about. I mean, that really is all that matters, is knowing that people have the tools they need. You know, do you want to be proactive with your health or reactive with your health? And for us, it's always been proactive. And now we're just finding the people that are. There's a lot that aren't. And it makes me crazy because I don't understand that, but it's okay. I'm learning to say it's okay. It's not the right time. But
you also have done, I mean, you guys had your own business. So you guys know about business and in the business also in regards to health, it was, organic, food and, things like that. So you've done business and actually you've done some direct sales before. So what did you think when you found Zinzino?
So when we did direct sales with Phil back in the 80s, my husband learned 3 things. He learned he didn't want to sell soap. He learned he didn't want to work for somebody else, which caused us to develop and start our own business, which we've had since the 90s. And it was a positive thing. But he also said, I never want to do network marketing again. But this is such a different, so our whole business was always, we had a product, air chilled, free range chicken. Nobody had it. So we kind of were before that. We started that before it became big. So we had a product that we never had to advertise for. We always didn't have enough. And when Peter saw this business opportunity, he's like, wow, nobody knows about this. Everybody needs it. This is a huge opportunity. So.
And I must say, you guys have doing a lot of meetings in your home, inviting a lot of people. And I recall coming up there the very first time. And I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the room because so many people had already had so many stories. And actually, I think what your daughter said just wiped me out. And I get emotional thinking about that too, because you were telling your story and everybody tells their stories, even if it's our 30-second stories. But your daughter stood up just to say, I've got my mom back. The grandkids have grandma back.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
That is a whole purpose of doing this business. Oh, okay. Renee.
Stop now.
I know. Okay, we both. But I think maybe just to end with this. So where do you see Zinzino and you guys here in the future?
The sky is the limit. I just feel like this is such a such a huge opportunity. I just am excited. I am thankful, praying that, that everything will stay together and we won't have some of the issues that I know have happened in the past. There's been a lot of growth. So just praying for all of us to be in the right place at the right time and for this to continue strong in America.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Well, congratulations on
Mhm.
your diamond title and
Thank
the
you.
future. I'm looking forward to the future too. So,
Yes. Thank you.
okay, I hope you guys have already heard a lot of stories, but we're not done yet. We got some more. Oh, okay. So I'm going to bring on a couple who are actually the first diamonds in Portugal. And they just hit it too. So let's welcome Ricardo and Patricia. Hi guys, can you tell a little bit about each of you? Can you tell a little bit about yourselves? Who wants to start? Oh, you have to
Patricia
unmute
can go
yourself.
first, that's for sure.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ricardo.
Oh, hi, I'm Ricardo. Yeah, absolutely. Coming from Portugal, spending the last 20 years in UK. That's where we started Zinzino journey. But then, thanks for Pete Sorensen. He kind of said I think you should move back to Portugal and build your team from there. And that's what we did. And then since then, things have changed quite significantly for us. And then here we are, and we are delighted with this journey and loving every single minute of it.
So maybe just say, how were you introduced? Because we got to say, it's not always like when Bjarke said he hasn't even in person met Jesper yet, and they both live in the same country. But you also, well, now you guys have met, but you didn't know your sponsor either.
No, we didn't. Jimmy from Denmark, he approached me on the internet, and I think this was after Tony Robbins event. And at that time, thanks to Tony Robbins, I was actually very open to say yes to opportunities. If it wasn't for Tony Robbins, probably I would have said no. And then Jimmy approached me, and I decided to have a conversation with him, and that's how things unfolded. And because of his honesty and so open approach to what Zinzino is about. And at that time, I was in need. I needed some help to sort out my knee issue, and everything made sense. But I didn't see the magnitude of Zinzino until I really saw. I started getting involved with it, and then it's just a love story. Absolutely a love story with the people, with my journey, with the changes that he made to me and Patricia, and the people that comes along the way, and the person you kind of get into, and the person you become as you grow into the company. So absolutely love it.
I love that. Well, let's bring on your other half there. Patricia, would you mind telling us a little bit about you?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Patricia. I'm Portuguese as well. And my background is a little bit of a mix. I'm an engineer, but I'm a natural lover. And then suddenly I got a huge interest in nutrition because of the problems that I was having. And when Jimmy approached Ricky, I have to say that it was very interesting because I was listening to the conversation on a different room. And at the end of the meeting, I just had to turn to Ricardo and say, why were you so hard with that person? Because it was really scrutinizing Jimmy, every single thing that Jimmy was saying. It was not giving him an easy time, honestly. But
so he was skeptical from the start. That's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. But then he did ask me, okay, can you just look into the products? Because he knows that I love research, and I was looking at everything that I could to resolve my gut problems. So, and I looked into the products and I said, well, I need this, regardless what you think, I want to try this. But we looked into the company as well, because Ricardo just said, look, if they have a test that no one else has, and a product that has an efficiency of 95%, I think we should look at this as an opportunity. And that was the beginning. So after that, we met several people. You were one of them, and we fell in love with the ethos and the feeling that Zinzino had for us in the beginning. You know, sorry, yes, and the feeling that Zinzino has. That's family. It's our probably first family now, because we're still not with our family here in Portugal. But it was from the beginning, it was a love affair, and it was just growing and growing on us. And it was, yeah.
And Ricardo kind of got into this because you guys were Portuguese, but living in the UK, had some contacts, but really were kind of sponsoring people here and there. I mean, you guys have also the sponsor of our new platinum in Canada, Donna, who hit that. So you were sponsoring, and I think you have business in like how many countries now, actually, because you started in COVID?
Yeah, 17, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
17
in terms of
countries.
partnership, yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, but then talking to Peter, who knows that you need to build up your family in your area, he said, what are you doing here in the UK? You guys don't know people here. Go home. Go home and start building in your area so that you can, and we weren't able to do that in COVID. So it was new for you guys to build in an area. And I think that's probably one of the keys is everybody should have a business presentation close by, because if you're going to follow a system, first look, second look, business presentation, business planning session, and event, if you're going to follow this pipeline and not have any leaks, you need to have a place where people gather and get together. And I think that's one of the biggest success things. I mean, Pete and Renee, with all that T-Balance, they're meeting tons of people at their house, having many people come, whether it's groups or individuals, and they're doing a lot of people. And you guys started having more partners signing up in your area that you could meet more in person. Ricardo, don't you think that was, you mentioned it before, but it's kind of the game changer?
It was a game changer because back in UK we were quite isolated, and now we're very central. And then I get involved, and Patricia gets involved with more social activities, and you just approach more people, so it becomes easier. And then every partner you try to get in, they are local. So once you start having your community of people, then everything starts becoming easier in a way. And then you can gather together, and everyone actually feels they belong to something because they know the other partner is also from a local area. So, and then we can have dinners together, we can do events together, and everything falls into place. But once you have people all over the place, then it becomes a little bit more difficult. But yeah, absolutely made a massive difference.
I love it.
Yeah.
Patricia?
No, it's just to say that because we started during COVID, we were just used to using Zoom. So it was a change to get used to start just having those face-to-face and meetings, and then the VP, all of it, the business presentations. So if anyone doubts that we need to have self-development, that we already know because we already are top leaders in normal businesses, we definitely need to accept that we need to start from scratch here and learn from the leadership that we have, and accept that we need to develop those skills as well, because as much as we can do Zoom and it's quite convenient, nothing beats just that human touch, that human feeling that we have when we're talking with someone else just across the table, across the sofa. Yeah, so it was a learning curve.
That is such a key. And I think, when you are working together with the people that you know and love, you have that family feeling, and you get to choose the people that you're going to work with. So who are you choosing to work with? And the people that you meet along the way. I mean, many of you I wouldn't have known if it hadn't been through Zinzino and, people introducing people, and Jimmy introducing to people, and Jeff and Donna introducing to people. All of that is a huge benefit for all of us. So,
and the feeling, Carla, that when we then suddenly, when the first time we've met Vivian, that we've met Donna, but that we've met Jimmy and yourself in person in an event, it was huge. It was great.
it's a family. You feel the family.
Yeah.
Build that family, grow the family, find some more people for the family. Well, speaking of family, I'm going to finish off with one last person to tell their story, and that is my family. It is my cousin, Angela Lewandowski, who also hit Crown. Angie, could you tell a little bit about yourself?
Hey, Carla. Yes, so I live in northern Minnesota, I was a single mom of 4 girls when I was introduced to Zinzino. I was working a lot, about 50 to 60 hours a week, and also doing a lot of traveling because here in northern Minnesota, it's not just a quick drive to work. So I was spending a lot of time on the road too. So time was something I didn't have a lot of because I was working so much.
And because we know each other and you heard about the changes in my son, I know that you have with your 4 daughters, you also had a daughter who, has maybe some of the same kind of characteristics, but you've tested everybody. And actually, I would have said of our family, you were that healthy one because you had this, tall model look of you. And how did your test come back? People always
Well, Carla, yeah, I thought I was pretty healthy. I mean, we always ate at home. We didn't have fast food restaurants around or anything. We always ate together. I worked out. I had coached basketball many, many years, like 16 years now. And so I always thought I was pretty healthy, but I took that test and my test results were not so good. I was 65-1. Yeah. So really not good. And
but
I know, I thought, really, is this my test? I was like, no way.
But then you tested some of the girls.
I did. And they tested anywhere from 50-1 to 89.9-1. And it was really an eye opener for me of, okay, we got to make some changes. We need to do something different. And so I was all about the products. I knew that we needed this. But I remember saying to you, I just don't think I have time for the business, Carla. And you said, well, what if we could find a way to get you more time? And then I was like, okay, I'm in. Let's go. Let's do this.
And then we talked about how much you needed. What did you need per month? And then how much time that you were going to be using to get what you wanted. And we made a plan for that. Now, and actually you got so much time that you got a baby and a boy.
Yeah, and we made a plan, and I had a number that I needed to be diamond for sure, and it was kind of fun. My kids were a little bit younger when I got started, so like my oldest one at the time, she was 14, and then my youngest one was 5. And so, of course, mom is number 1 priority. So I had to be mom, but then scheduling in that time for Zinzino, making it a priority. I made a deal with the kids. They wanted to go to Disney. And I said, okay, girls, when mom hits, this title, in January, we're going to take a trip to Disney. And then they were like, hey, mom, how's that going? Oh, we'll do the dishes. We'll clean the house. You have things to do. So I made it fun with them. So then they were like, encouraging me. So that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, like you said, then, life progresses and changes, and I got married, and now I have a little boy. And so life has gotten busy again. But right after Chase was born, then it was COVID. And so things kind of, had a little bit of a setback. And it was, I needed to be mom, but then it made it hard to, be building and doing things. So there was a period where things were a lot slower for me, but then we made a plan. I just said, okay, well, I need to get going again because, once Chase got a little older and COVID had kind of faded out, and I said, okay, I have either 2 options. I can either go get a full-time job again because, I needed to have some income, or I could put my efforts into Zinzino and start really working again. And I knew the potential of Zinzino. I always believed that, what it's going to be here. I know what it's going to be in the US. And so I said, okay, I need to get started again.
Now, I think this is important because I know you pretty well. And what Jewel said about giving up.
Yeah. I've given up a lot of times. I've had a lot of days where I'd wanted to quit, and I was just like, it's really hard. But we're always gonna, I think, once I started to really focus on more personal development of, working on myself and building that belief in myself, because there were a lot of people that had belief in me. I just didn't have it in myself at the time. So working on that, I think, is what really made the difference now, because you always believed in me. You're always pushing me. You always, you said, I know you can do this. and our founders too, I know Orion's always said, you're the hardest on yourself. And that's very true. So I just needed to decide that I was worthy and go out there and do it. And so I really started to do a lot more personal development, making sure I was at the events, getting regular coachings, and then having consistent activity that I was putting in the work myself. And that's really what made that shift.
I think that's a big shift, because so many people, they want their team to do things, and you get into manager mode. And I think for you saying, it has to come from me. I have to be the one leading the way. I have to be the one doing this, and not just the meetings. It's just as much the personal development. I think that's one reason I remember talking to you and you're reading 2 books at the same time, because you were really needing to get that. And when you have the down times, and it's not always easy, but it's not to have the complaining, but figuring out how you're going to fix something. There's leadership skills as you get a bigger team that you're really growing at.
Absolutely. And in life is never going to be easy. You're always going to have the ups and downs. I mean, after I had Chase, one of my daughters was critically ill. I mean, very ill and in the hospital, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And, there was a lot of other things that happened, but me working on myself and doing the personal development. And then, when you have the ups and downs with the business and with life, that's what is, the mindset of, okay, we can't just stop. We have to continue. We have to push through. And that's what's really made the difference, for sure.
I think we just talked about this too, is there's always life in the way. There's never going to be a time where it's not an all or nothing thing in Zinzino. Some people think that they need to be all or nothing. And you just need to make a decision and move forward from where you're at. I think that's probably one of the biggest things.
Absolutely. It's making the decision of what you're going to do, because having that activity. So finding your pace. And I think that's really important, to find your pace, decide what it is that you're going to do. And, we always say, well, don't quit. But I think it's really important to find your pace, and then say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to commit to, and do that. And make sure that
keeping the priorities of the things that are priorities. Don't be sacrificing the things that you are doing this business for. I think that's one of the big things too.
Absolutely. Having your calendar, making sure you're the best mom that you can be, the best, spouse you can be when it's that time, but then also making sure that you have that Zinzino time in there. That is a priority in your calendar. That's really important.
That your personal development and your things are first, because the leader is the one who is doing leading. Yeah.
Yep. The personal development, the reading. Right now I'm reading 3 books at a time, Carla. So I'm upping the activity even more. So I said my team's growing. I need to grow more. So I'm upping the activity. Also, getting the coachings. But with the coaching it's not just getting the coaching. It's then, okay, what did we learn in the coaching? And then implementing that information is really important too.
And I think that's a good thing, because the ups and downs are always going to be there. But put in coachings, and when you're feeling discouraged, or you feeling you can't believe, maybe you need to grab somebody else's belief in you, or grab somebody to help you move forward, because everybody can build this business. Whether you have upline that helps you or not, whether you are feeling like it or not, whether you believe in it or not, you can build this business. You can do it. Everybody can make it. There's room for everybody, and we haven't even got started yet.
Absolutely. One thing I'd like to share, Carla, is in one of the books I've just been reading, reaching any goal you set takes 10% specific knowledge or technical skills. 10% max. other 90% plus is people skills and what you learn, the person that you become along the way. So that's where it is so important. It's not just what you're, the activity you're doing, but we need to make ourselves the number one project.
I absolutely love it. And I think with that, we're going to finish our day. Well, I hope everybody here has got some golden nuggets here or has found somebody that inspires you. And, sometimes it's finding others to inspire you. Sometimes you're the one that can inspire others. But there's so many great stories here, and we're looking forward to having a lot more because Zinzino's just getting started. We haven't even got started. Let's get out and create some more stories. Thank you, each and every one of you who were on today. Thank you for being on, and we so appreciate you, and we're looking forward to the next titles in the future. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Carla, for everything you
Thank
do
you so
for
much.
us.
Thank you for the kick in the butt.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great Saturday.